And we're here with some special guests today for a very interesting show that's about to be shown next week. We're here with Lena Fiszman, Alan Brostek and Jack Felman, and you're doing an interesting show called Born Guilty, as if I'm surprised. But this is a third of a trilogy that you've written.
Yeah, we started off, the three of us, about 10 years ago, and I wrote the first of what I was hoping to be a trilogy, which would deal in the main with issues that related to children of Holocaust survivors. But broadly, it would probably be relevant to any child of migrants who often, as I sort of used to say, had one foot at home, they had one foot in one culture, and when they went out of the house, another foot in another culture. So the first two plays were very well received. It was Laugh Till You Cry and Don't Teach Me I'm Perfect. And this one is called Born Guilty, A Scary Guide to Jewish Parenting. It differs in the sense that it deals with different vignettes, different scenes, milestones in the life of a Jewish boy, in this case Alan. His birth when he's 9 years old, his bar mitzvah when he gets married, the marriage of his first son, and then other scenes that we do. And it deals with the topic, I guess, of emotional abuse, which, unfortunately for us, we never saw that. We never recognised as being an emotional abuse.
It was perfectly normal.
That's right. It was the only way you brought up children.
Yeah.
Which one of the three plays was the easiest for you
I
to
would
write?
say this one, in that, first of all, it doesn't deal with the Holocaust. So
it touches
on it, but the other two plays dealt with some issues that were very close to my heart. There were issues that dealt with the experiences during the war of my father and my mother. The losses, the deaths, what they had to do, my mother having to give away my sister. So they were, in some cases, a little bit painful. This, I thought I would just make a pure... Well, I say it's a comedy, but really, when you think of it, and if you imagine what it was like growing up and you had to hear what we say in the play, it was
tragic.
Funny.
It was. The
Funny.
funny thing is about it that now we're of a good old ripe old middle age, that I don't think I realised until this age really how mental my household was in a very kind of normal way. Where everything seemed perfectly fine. Every minute of the day was guilt and drama. And when you went to somebody else's place when you were young, like a non-Jewish person, it was like, oh, this is the calmest, nicest...
What do you do for entertainment?
Yeah. How come no one's yelling at me or giving me a head trip? It was really quite amazing.
Actually, what prompted me, I noticed that my children, two of my children are married, and I noticed the difference in the way they deal with their children, my grandchildren. And I thought to myself, it's so different from the way that we were brought up. They're missing out on such a lot of the fun of making their... That's right, they discuss with them and they explain and they sit down and the consequences of their actions and the choices and the options. And I thought, am I allowed to say bloody hell? Yeah. Bloody hell. It was so much easier to say, because if you don't do this, you will kill me. Will you be happy?
That were our choices.
Is that not easier?
And having said that, we all grew up in the same way. You also lived with guilt from day one.
Absolutely.
And yourself too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And who are you in this particular play?
I am Mania Przezikowski, great-grandmother in this play, and basically the matriarch of the family. And she's not necessarily the nicest of people. She is the queen of guilt trips. But she's got a good heart in many ways. She actually does care about her family. It's just they have to do it her way.
And you?
I play her husband, the long-suffering Velvel Przezikowski,
good name,
who goes along with his wife's way of bringing up the children. I mean, our fathers, I think in general, I won't say for everyone, in general the fathers weren't that actively involved in raising the children. A lot of the guilt had to be done by the mother, but certainly the father backed her up, yes. If it was going to, don't talk like this to your mother, it'll kill her, and if it kills her, it's going to definitely kill her. Our parents were able to use death, which we were all brought up with.
Yes.
Because we were brought up with
The camps.
The camps and the concepts of loss and death of all the relatives. So this was just made it all that. Made the abuse stronger.
Yes, and I don't know how we survived because there was no counselling in those days. There was nothing to talk to anyone if you ever felt anything about your parents telling you how everybody was dead in their entire family. It was just a normal thing.
But it was exactly
bizarre.
right.
Well, the psychiatrists have done really
normal.
well from us.
Well, you all turned into psychiatrists half of the Holocaust.
They're really kept, they were kept very busy because of us.
Now, the characters of the play, they're all Polish-based? Is there a specific reference to any particular place that they come
Look,
from?
I suppose, yes, because the
Polish
three of us,
background.
interestingly enough, all three of us are from very, very similar backgrounds that happen to be Polish. So it's written from that, because my Polish Jewish accent is better than if I tried to be a Hungarian or a Germanic or Romanian or French Jewish accent. So you do what you
do it
feel
well.
comfortable.
You do it well. Yeah.
I mean, for us, it's almost not acting.
It's true. And for me to watch you, it's like, yeah, so what's new? Right?
We just if I want to say something to Lena and I say, look, Lena, be your mother. And then all of a sudden she goes into character.
It's so easy, isn't it?
You don't have to say, do it this way. I think it's more than just the guilt. And if you can see beyond the guilt, it's also a way of thinking and a way of behaviour for that, as I said before, for that second generation who had one culture at once. They came in the home, there was one culture, they came back. And I think our children and our grandchildren, God willing, the future generations will not have that.
No.
Because it will be very much
the grandparents
Aussie.
will be gone.
That's right. So, and it'll be Aussie. The parents won't be particularly funny. They'll think their ideas will be much closer to their children, whereas our parents were really... They were
culture,
almost
totally different culture.
I think that our therapy basically is doing things like this, is for you to produce it. This is how you express your anger. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And also to have it immortalised on screen so the next generation can see it is fantastic. But it's on next week. It begins next week.
The 22nd of May is the first show.
Right.
23rd, 26th, 27th, 29th and 30th.
Goes for Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday,
at
Sunday.
St Martin's Theatre.
Yeah.
Myself, that's right.
And you really want to get in before they nab us for Hollywood. Because once we're at Broadway, the tickets are going to go up in price.
I can get in. I know people backstage.